Ladies and gentlemen, the world is changing. When I tell you that a normal person couldn't design things like this um, before, but now they can, and all with minimal effort because the tools actually exist. Um, the tools exist for these. A client came to me, said he wanted to build um, an order management system which processes documents. So you could imagine purchase orders that come to like a shipping company, and the shipping company is basically um, taking products from one location to another. Right? So those purchase orders are supposed to go to the suppliers, or rather, this shipping company is supposed to connect all the different suppliers and then make sure that they can get the products and then fetch the products and then send them over, or use some kind of agent, some middleman who's going to send the products over. So basically, that's how this is supposed to work. And currently, I've done quite a lot. When I tell you that I've been out of the coding game for quite a while, I genuinely mean it. And when I first prototyped this, and I think I could show you because it's like in the first commit on GitHub. Maybe I'll show you like one of these days, but there was nothing. There was literally just like this wasn't even a proper landing page. There wasn't a proper landing page. I had to figure all of this out myself, and I'm very proud of like how far I've come. Very proud of how far I can go, um, and this is just all just by using the right techniques. So what I've effectively done in all this time is to really take a moment and just get to know the actual systems that I'm using. So what I mean by that is most people would go ahead and they'll study code and they'd study this and this and that. I understood one thing since a long time ago, and it was the fact that the programming language is changing. The programming language is shifting, right? If before we were programming in these languages, now we're going to be programming in pure English. And so if I head over to Gemini, you'll see that we have a long conversation history, and it's going to take a while to load because it's like the first time I'm opening it in this session. Um, yeah, we have a long conversation history, but um, basically, yeah, what you what you need to understand is that the programming language is changing, and if you don't change with it, I'm not going to say you're going to get left behind or something. I'm going to say that most like the other programming languages are just going to be legacy programming languages. So what I mean by that is, how many people do you know who use um, punch cards, you know, or who use like um, machine code? Uh, Not really that many, right? Unless they're in like robotics and they're trying to like interface between hardware and software. But even if they like in robotics, even if there's already like frameworks that interface for people. No one's actually coding at that level. Like people are already coding at like the high level, you know, C, C sharp, uh, Java, JS, Python, mostly Python actually. And yeah, I kind of I realized that the programming language of the future is going to be English, but I still need to be the interface. Like, while AI is still learning to be good at creating things like these, I needed to be the interface between AI and sort of what it could be. And then I'm basically just going to be giving you some insights on how that looks and what you should be doing. So the idea is very simple. Um, right now, if you are doing just normal AI automation, then you're not really sort of activating the full potential of what you're capable of. The first time I integrated an AI automation with a website was when I was building a chatbot, and that was when I realized um, the potential of sort of learning these low code, no code skills, and then being able to integrate them with something that's actually made from code. Um, all I had to do was get some AI to generate the website, and then um, understand exactly where I needed to put the webhook URL, and then be able to like map the input data and the output data, which is relatively simple because like you see so much JSON that I'm pretty sure, um, like if you've been doing automations for like a while now, then you probably know just what you need to do. Um, so like, and that, understand, I'm not like, this is not my first time coding. It's just I've been, you know, it's been a while since I've been out of the game, and you tend to forget skills that you don't use. That's basically what happened to me. Um, which is funny enough how I'm able to build such really intricate stuff, um, even while sort of like not being able to, I guess you could say, not being able to have like a real track record. Like I was able to just go from low code straight to fully coded things that integrate sort of automated backends in N8N, and that's exactly what like how the system I just showed you works. When someone uploads a document here, it gets taken straight to an N8N backend that extracts all the data, creates structured outputs from the data, um, maps the products to a product database, which I set up in Supabase, and then pulls all of the product information to generate a new sort of supplier purchase order, and then sends those supplier purchase orders out. Um, you know, it generates all of that, even generates invoices, but like that's in a future time. Um, I think it's in a future iteration of the app. But yeah, you get my point. This is really extensive, and especially for like a one-man build. Um, the only reason it's taking me this long is just because I've been doing other things as well. Um, if you know, you know, I've been training AI models. I've been doing like object detection. So I basically had to relearn Python as well as JavaScript, literally at the same time. Um, and it's been really, really fun. And one thing that's enabled me to do this so quickly is AI. When people say you can learn anything in 2 weeks, they are not joking. We're living in that age where it's just like if you genuinely apply yourself, there's nothing you can't really learn. There's nothing you can't really affect. Um, and you see it so many times. Like I recently heard of this scandal with the T app that was vibe coded. They ended up leaking a bunch of people's credentials and like literal IDs, even the IDs of like FBI, you know, people who were infiltrating the app to do some investigation on it. I mean, it's a huge thing, but like that's basically what happens when you don't understand systems. Things end up breaking more than not breaking, and that's one of the things that I've been trying to like sort of stay away from. Um, I understand that security is really important. I understand like when the way I use AI, and I feel like the way most vibe coders would use it, because vibe coders would be like, hey, I want this feature, build it here. I want this feature, build it there. I'm always thinking like, okay, the front end looks good, but how do I integrate the back? What is supposed to go into the back? Um, what about security? What about RLS? What about this, and that? What about logins, sessions, tokens, keys, those types of things. All those things I'm learning them, slowly but surely. But I am loving the entire process, and I generally think that this is the future. Most people are going to realize that this is actually probably the easiest way to ship things, to build something, uh, to build something with an automation platform and then to build a front end and then to just link them. Actually, this has been said for like months now that this is exactly what you should be doing. But there are limitations, of course. Um, as much as automated platforms can let you build things very quickly, they are not very scalable. What that means is once you start getting like real traffic, like real user activity, you're probably going to have to like shift your, um, you know, you're probably going to have to shift to like either all code or some other kind of solution, dedicated solution that can handle that kind of user base and activity. But I mean, right now, since this is like going to be a one company thing, like only one company is going to be using this, and they don't even get that many orders anyway. Um, but they still like able to generate like millions because that's just how it works in the order management system. So in the order management, I mean, um, place, I guess you could say, um, that's basically just yeah. One thing I've realized so far is that the amount of impact that I've been able to create or generate in the businesses of other people is a direct correlation to how many skills I'm able to possess. So if at first all I could do was just connect a few nodes, then I could get like a, you know, a, you know, a little bit of cash here and there. But as soon as I was able to connect that to some kind of front end, then I was able to get a little bit more cash. And as much as agents are useful all by themselves, once you're able to connect them to a front end that is able to visualize them, that's a little bit more cash as well. Um, you know, and I'm not saying that you should only be paying attention to the cash. I'm saying that the cash is a real visual representation of the impact you have because people wouldn't be paying you if they didn't think that you were actually worth, paying. So my idea is like really simple. Like this has just been the like one of the main things that's been um, taking up a lot of my time recently. And I guess another thing is just I've been so busy with this that I haven't been able to pay attention to my business, like the business that I wanted to take care of and grow. But growing a one-person business isn't really, it's not really that easy. And the worst thing was the fact that I haven't really been consistent with my inputs, um, content. Like as you can see, I don't know how many weeks, days it's been. Um, I'm trying to be more consistent on every platform that I find very important. But of course, all these actions are taking time away from my day. And ideally, I'd love to be everywhere at once, but it's impossible. Even worse, I hate the idea of creating content that isn't worthwhile. I mean, it isn't worth watching. I made this video because I genuinely thought I had something to share, and if I didn't, I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have even like lit up the camera. Um, that's basically my point. I'm taking this extremely seriously, and I don't want to leave any weird stain because I don't think that this is something. I don't think this is a joke. I feel like the next 5 years are going to be insane. I mean, the last 5 months have been insane when you think about it, and that's just been months. Like the amount of progress we've seen in every field been insane. The number of startups that have blew up and just got like crazy funding, insane. But the next 5 years is going to be crazy, and I think there's a few reasons for that. Um, the main one is that money is just going to get cheaper and cheaper. labor is also going to get cheaper and cheaper. And if you don't really position yourself properly to like be able to at least like persist even after the robots start getting rolled out and like the agents start, crawling all over the internet and making sort of useful human searching um, kind of useless, then you're probably in big trouble. Um, you you need to understand just how to use AI. Even more importantly, you okay, maybe calling them AI is wrong. Just let's just call them LLMs from now. You need to learn how to use LLMs. Um, of course, there might be other models that come up because there's innovation in AI just happening every single day. But you need to learn how to use these tools. You need to learn how to understand all like everything that's happening, and you need to position yourself. Like if you're a business owner, you just need to position yourself as an AI first business, because in a few years, that's all you're gonna be seeing. AI first businesses popping up everywhere, and no joke, I almost predicted this because I said how I wanted to build one person business with a bunch of AI agents helping me around. Um, I still haven't made it happen, at least not yet. But I something tells me that I can make it happen. Bye.